Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I want to share with you how to tweak your skincare routine as we prepare for autumn and winter. I used to buy into the hype that you had to have an entirely different winter skincare routine as what you needed in summer. I'd buy all new products, I'd spend a fortune, and in truth, you don't need to do any of that. There are a few tweaks, a few changes that you can apply to your summer skincare in order to make it fall and winter applicable, and I want to share that with you in today's video. So, grab yourself a pumpkin spiced latte, sit back, relax, and let's talk the tweaks you need to make as we go into autumn and winter. Now, before we get into this, I appreciate not everyone in the world is going into autumn and winter. You know, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're starting to transition out of summer and into those other months. In the Southern Hemisphere, if you're lucky enough to be in Australia, New Zealand, or anywhere else, you're actually probably going into your summer months right now. But this is kind of the benefit of this video. You can just do what I'm saying here in reverse if you're moving your skincare from winter into summer, and you'll still get all the great benefits. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. And also, while we're on it, I know a lot of people are screaming saying, it's fall, it's not autumn. I know different people call the season differently in different parts of the world. I'm here in the UK where we call it autumn. If you call it fall, I'm going to try and use the terms interchangeably throughout this video so everyone feels included. But let's just call it pumpkin spice latte season. That kind of covers everything. Now, shall we cut the waffle and delve straight on into it? There are some changes which happen in our skin as we move from the warmer summer months through to the winter and autumn months. Such things as an increase in dryness and dehydration. This can be as a result of the temperature changes, but also because in the modern world we have things such as central heating. You know, we move from air conditioning through to heating. That can mess with the overall moisture levels in our skin. We can also notice that our skin becomes a little bit dull, a little bit less vibrant. That can be because we're less likely to have some sun exposure. Also, as we tend to sit around, you know, our mood can dip a little bit, and that can be shown in our skin. The rate of cellular turnover has also been clinically proven to slow down in those cooler winter months, and so that can be another reason why we're clinging onto those dead skin cells longer and we're missing some of the vibrancy. I don't feel that any of these things merit an entire change to your skincare routine, and there are a few things I'm going to share with you now, the tweaks, the hints, the hacks that can just make your summer skincare applicable for the autumn and winter months. First and foremost, I would encourage everybody to dial back their exfoliating acids. Now, this might seem a little counterintuitive because I did just say that the rate of cellular turnover can diminish in those winter months. You still need to exfoliate, but just think about the concentration and the strength of the product that you're using. A lot of people reach for glycolic acid in the summer months because it can really help to remove some of the excess oil in the skin, which I think we're all prone to a little bit more oil than we would ideally like in those warm summer months. However, the opposite applies in winter, which is why I think glycolic acid and the high strength glycolics in particular can just be too stripping, too aggressive on the skin. So I would recommend as we move into autumn, fall or winter, you really think about moving up to a lactic acid. I use lactic acid all year round because it's my ride or die holy grail favorite, and I captured my reasons why in a recent video which I'll link up there. But if you are a glycolic girl and love your glycolic acid in the summer, I think now would be the right time to move to a lactic in those slightly cooler months. My ride or die favorite is this, the ordinary lactic acid 10%. A couple of times a week, it just makes sure that your skin is still turning over those dead skin cells and keeps that vibrancy alive in the skin. And make sure I'm using something gentle like lactic acid, which is also humectant, so it will replace the lost moisture, which again tackles some of that dehydration we can see in the cooler months. Second, and this again is to do with the dehydration and often the dryness that we'll experience in the colder months, I would totally recommend you invest in a facial oil. Some people have facial oils year round, but if like me you're super oily and you don't really require one in the summer months, I think it's worth having one on standby for those winter months where you might just need that extra hydration. One of my favorites is this. This is the Fortify by Stratia, which is a beautiful blend of loads of really nice oils. I also love the rose hip seed oil by The Ordinary, which again is great if you have acne or blemish prone skin. How I tend to apply these in the winter and the fall months is I just add a few drops to my moisturizer, then apply it to the skin in an evening, and I wake up and my skin is just having extra hydration, and it offsets some of the dryness that we can have. Whether you use a facial oil year round, in which case you just want to maybe use a little bit more in the winter months, or maybe you don't use them in the summer at all and you're going to introduce them, this is a really great way of just doubling down on the hydration you get from your skincare routine without having to break the bank and splurge on a whole suite of additional moisturizers. My third thing that I would mix up and change a little bit is your vitamin C. So I mentioned earlier that when it comes to exfoliating acids, I like to dial it back a little bit in those winter months when my skin's a bit drier. Because we often spoke earlier of the skin becoming a bit more dull, a little less vibrant in the winter months, you might want to dial up the rate of the vitamin C that you use. If you already use a vitamin C throughout the summer, you're probably covered and you're probably still great to see those benefits in the fall and winter months. But if, like me, you tend not to use vitamin C in the summer, just because I feel like my skin gets all the vibrancy and glow that it needs from the other steps, I do like to include one as a treat on those dull days in my winter skincare. I'm reaching for the C Glow by Geek and Gorgeous, which is my absolute ride or die favourite. I don't use it every single day in the winter, but I have it on those days where I wake up and think, I could do with a little extra glow, a little extra vibrancy. Adding a touch of vitamin C can be a great way of delivering that without having to break the bank and splurge on a whole suite of additional products. If you already have one in your routine, just continue to use it and you'll still get those great benefits. Finally, I want to call out calming and soothing serums. Now, often we'll have these in already, so again, don't really need to mix it up if you already have one. But if, like me, in the winter, you find your skin gets a little bit chapped, a little bit more redness prone, maybe a bit more sensitive, this is usually as a result of the climatic changes. Maybe there's more wind, which when it hits our skin can sensitize and cause some chap in the skin, or maybe it's just down to changing diets and all of that stuff. Whatever the reason, we can often feel a little bit more sensitive and redness prone in the winter months, which is why I like to nourish the skin and treat it by including a calming and soothing serum. Oat is like my absolute favourite, and there's so many oat serums out there, but it's an anti-inflammatory which calms, it soothes, it dials back redness, and also adds in some hydration, so it kind of does everything you want it to do for those fall and winter months. My current absolute favourite is this, the Stress Less Serum by Geek and Gorgeous, which is a new product on the market, but honestly is already my ride or die holy grail. This has beta-glucans, which is an oat derivative, to calm, soothe, reduce the redness, and also hydrate, so it's kind of just an all-in-one winter essential product, I would say. I've left a link to this, as will all of them, down below if you want to check them out in more detail. That's pretty much it. In terms of what you need to change, hopefully you don't need to buy a whole suite of new products. You can mix up your exfoliating acids, just dial it back a little bit, make sure you're not risking dryness and sensitivity. If you've already got a vitamin C, just continue to use it. You might already have a facial oil, maybe just use a little bit more than you otherwise would. And hopefully you've already got a calming and soothing serum in your routine. But if you haven't, definitely fall and winter is those months where you want to add that extra nourishment and just calm everything down a little bit. With these 4 steps, I think it's really simple to transition from the summer skincare through to the winter skincare without having to splurge on a whole lot of new products and breaking the bank to do so. I would love to know what your winter essentials are and how you're mixing up your routine. So sound off in the comment section below, because your recommendations are always so good, and I learned so much from my own routine from reading them. While you're down there, don't forget to do all that YouTubey stuff. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already joined the Mad About Skin family, because honestly, I would love you forever. And whatever the season, wherever you are in the world, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.